What's up, Hanz family, and welcome to Hanzween. Hanzween is 31 tutorials in the month of October, so that means a new tutorial every day. Today's look is an old school Joker, which is in a collaboration with Alex Faction, who did Superman. Alex is the shit. We've done this 31 days together. This has been crazy and awesome, so make sure to go check him out and show him some love. All product details will be listed down below, as always, and let's get to the tutorial. I kind of wanted to mix the old school Joker with a little bit of the grungy Joker we all know, and so I am putting this white Mayron Makeup Paradise Paint all over my face, and I am not doing it very opaque. I'm doing it kind of messy. This is the Saucebox Etude palette, and I am just using this for all of its awesome neutral tones that it has. Using this small angle brush, I want to start sketching out his features. He obviously has this huge, large smile, and I mean, he's the Joker. He's always joking around. And then I'm going to draw on his little wrinkles that he has because his mouth would be pulled upwards from that smile. His little frown lines and all kinds of wrinkles he got all over his face. I mean, that dude, he got all kind of lines over his face. You can use a reference picture for this. I was using one for the most part, and then also just adding in wrinkles where my face was so that it went along with my face. You always want to take reference pictures with a grain of salt because you want them to fit your face as well. I'm still using that same shadow, and I'm going to start pulling that down a little bit just to start shading underneath some of these wrinkles. These wrinkles will change a little bit to where the shadow is depending on how the skin is pulling. Shade around the sides of his nose just to make your nose look a little more kind of angular and messed up like his is. And just like with your eyes, you want to pull the shadow down a little bit because think of the light source, like always, being a little bit on top of us, you know, right ahead of us. Try to think of where the skin would naturally fall and where the shadow would be. Honestly, you guys, once you understand why a shadow is where it is, then it'll all just flow easily. Using this fancy little tapered highlighter brush from Sigma, I want to start contouring my face a little bit. I'm still using this gray kind of brown tone shade because we don't want to go too warm. We want to stay pretty neutral. Don't mind me while I look like a creep, showing you that I'm using this black and brown together. I'm going to start darkening up some of the shadows, adding a little more depth. You don't want to go straight into black quite yet. This is when I realized that I made my nose look really weird. So we're just going to clean that up really quick because we don't want it to look like a round, bulbous piece of poo. You don't need to darken every shadow, just darken the shadows that would be really deep set into your face. For the teeth, I'm mixing a little bit of yellow and white and brown paint from Mayron to get an aged yellow and this little Morphe brush. And I'm just going to start making the teeth very long. The old school Joker, most of the pictures, he has this huge ass smile and these big o' long teeth, so just create those, and if you want, you could paint most of the mouth yellow and then just kind of outline the teeth where you want them in black. You can see I do change the shape a tiny bit as I go, because as the mouth curves around the cheeks, the teeth would kind of get a little smaller because they would be showing just the sides of them. Whenever I do teeth nowadays, I always try to conceal where my lips are, and so make sure the edges of the teeth are that line of your lips. It'll really help to make those look a little more natural. I mean, as natural as a huge ass fucking smile can get. Fill in your gums with a little bit of pink. This is Beach Berry mixed with light pink from Mayron. And then I just want to outline the lips with red. You can see I'm going over the teeth a little bit with the lips, but that's fine because the lips would kind of cover the teeth anyways. For his crazy little arched brows, I went in with black body paint and I stuck to kind of my natural shape towards the beginning of the brow, just that it did go with my face, but you could do it however you like. Using Corrupt eyeshadow from Makeup Geek, which is black eyeshadow, I want to start really adding a little more depth to some of these deeper set eyeshadows. I'm not adding much black. We don't want the black to overpower the colors that we've put down already. Alright, I'm drinking a beer, so let's see if I can just like put my lips around this. Okay, I got it. That worked, okay. This is just grease paint from Makeup Forever. You could use whatever black grease paint you wanted, cream paint, whatever. And I am just putting that over with my finger on my eyelid, and I am doing this really messy. I want this to look grungy and like he's worn this makeup for a very long time because he's a dirty man, but an awesome dirty man at that. Put a little bit of the black eyeshadow into the wrinkles themselves to make it look like the makeup has set into the wrinkles, and then we're going to highlight. I'm using white cream paint for this because I really do like highlighting with white cream paint. It really sets well onto water-activated paints, and I'm just highlighting my face and highlighting a few of these wrinkles, facing more towards the tops of them. Mixing a little bit of light purple and Port body paint from Mayron, I want to start making his iconic purple jacket. I'm also using this Morphe G2 brush to fill it in, which is great for holding a fuck ton of paint and dispensing it onto your body. Mix a little bit of mango and yellow body paint to get this kind of light orangey yellow color, and I'm just filling that in for his little collar, and then using light green to fill in the shirt portion. Use some black eyeshadow to sketch out where you want the collar and the seams of the sleeves to be, just so that you can get the exact spot you want. And then outline that with black body paint and pull that black body paint while it's still wet out a little bit just to start the base of the shadow. I'm using Sugar Pill's Poison Plum for a lot of the shading with this, along with Makeup Geek's Corrupt. And basically what I want to do is have the black shadows blend into the purple and then blend into the base of the jacket, which is the original color we first put down. I've shown you painted clothes before, and basically what I'm doing is just figuring out where I think there would be wrinkles on the fabric. There would be a lot, so I am just basically keeping most of them towards the sleeves because the sleeves would be pulling the fabric towards the seam. With every article of clothing being a different color, they each need a different shadow color. So this is Enchanted by Makeup Geek to go onto the green, because green wouldn't just have a black shadow, or purple for that matter, which I was using earlier. And then onto the mango color, I'm using a tiny bit of Cocoa Bear from Makeup Geek, which is a warm brown tone. Take that cool tone from the Saucebox palette again, and just take that coming up from the collar to go onto your white skin, because that would be a shadow from the collar onto your skin, and then highlight with the white cream paint. Keep the highlights more towards the collar, but you want them to go in between some of the black portions, and basically any portion that would be a high point of the jacket. The collar would be higher up than the rest of the jacket, so make sure that is very heavily highlighted. With a little bit of black eyeshadow, you want to make sure that the jacket shows that it's on top of this collar and shirt. So you really want to make sure that these are all three separate pieces, and then add a few little wrinkles to the orange collar itself using that cool tone from Saucebox. Highlight it just like we did with the jacket. And you want to keep most of the highlights towards the middle and the shadows towards both outer edges of this collar. Looks more like a bandana, so I guess we'll just roll with it. Draw a little bow. He has lots of different bows, lots of different variants of it, so I just went with black. Make sure that the bow parts of it look very floppy, so it's just flopping down. And then use a little bit of the black eyeshadow to draw a little bit of a shadow underneath the bow, since it is coming off of the shirt itself. Onto the teeth, I am taking that cool tone brown from the Saucebox palette, and I am going to be shading the top and outer edge of every tooth. Go onto the alternating edge and side for the other side of the mouth. Basically shade towards your ear on each side. Use a little bit of black to intensify it, and towards the edges of the teeth where our mouth is pulling up, we want that to all be shaded. Go over the entire tooth, because what that will do is make the center teeth look like they are actually popping forward, and it'll make your mouth look even more curved and dimensional, which is kind of what we're going for, know what I'm saying? Add some shadow underneath the lips onto the gums because the lips would be higher than the gums, and just darken any shadows where you see that you need to. Using the white cream paint from Krylon, I am just adding a few highlights, focusing more towards the centers of the teeth. And this is just where I'm doing my final touches, adding a few highlights here and there, and adding a highlight onto the lips. Give me a second while I pop on my wig. And that's the entire look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I fucking did. That's my first ever Joker, and I've been dying to do him. Whoa. Not do him, but you know what I mean, like do him. If you recreate this, please use the hashtag Hanzween so I can see. And make sure to check out Alex's video as you leave this one, and I will just see you guys tomorrow. Oh, this is tasty.